Hello fellow YouTubers, I'm back with a serious video message, and this is partially by request, but part of the other, but the other reason I'm doing this is basically because I have my own 2 cents to add to this particular business of celebrities being cloned, murdered, and replaced with replicated versions of themselves. And of course I'm dealing with of course this happens in all Illuminati or elite or Illuminati controlled arenas like sport, politics, religion, sports, royalty, and entertainment. But I'm mainly dealing at this point in time with the entertainment industry. And this video subject is Justin Timberlake, and why I feel he was replaced in, I would say, as far back as 1999. And before I get around to the message, if you're not spiritual, this message is not for you. If you're the kind of person that thinks everything is a joke and a game, this message is not for you. If you want to continue to follow lies and watch television, which I no longer watch myself because I don't want to get soft on the pain and suffering of other people, then this message is not for you. If you don't care to know the truth, and don't leave me any foolish comments, or else not only your comments be deleted, you're going to be blocked, then basically this message is not for you. This message is only for the truth seekers. It's not for the skeptics. It's not for the mockers and people that are atheists and agnostics and stuff. If you think heaven and hell, God and Satan, if you think all that stuff is a myth and that the Bible is a bunch of fairy tales that's been put together, then you just might need to click away from this. Just heed this disclaimer, warning, or caution. Just click away from this message, because I'm gonna mention these things, and whether you like it or not. So, but moving on. Somebody said, why do you think that Justin was replaced back in 1999? Well, I'm gonna get to it. Get down to it. I'm just say that I recall that way back in, I would say late October, early November of 1999. NSYNC had made an appearance on the Rosie O'Donnell show, and the thing I couldn't help but notice is, and they performed this song "Bye Bye Bye," and it was live. Had live band and everything, and they were doing the choreography that goes with the song and stuff. And it was done by Darren Henson. Darren Henson choreographed it. And I couldn't help but notice that, the one that really caught my eye was Justin Timberlake. And I noticed that his hair was not only different. I wouldn't say his hair was not only different. There's just something different about him. His hair was not only different, he just looked different, period. And I wouldn't say it was for the worse or whatever. But, he was still cute and all, but there's just something different about him. And the music, I thought the music it sounded a little too rock, because it was that song "Bye Bye Bye." It was a little too rock or whatever. It was kind of hard hitting, and at that point in time, that's how I kind of knew that. And also during that time, the band was gonna release an album around that time, but there were delays, and they should have released it in '99, but I would say around the fall. I'm gonna just say the fall of 1999, but there was a problem with the label, and they wound up switching to from RCA to Jive Records, where Backstreet Boys was, which I thought was pretty strange. And this Justin right here, as you can plainly see, he looks strange, and I believe that earlier that year. I'm gonna be honest. I think that Justin Timberlake's replacement took place, while the band was, still in the spotlight and all that kind of stuff. And this was the one that you saw in the summer of 1999. I believe Justin already he had already been snuffed out by that time, and this was his very first replacement. And the one that I think the one I saw on Rosie O'Donnell, I think it might be the same guy, but except for his hair was longer, and he looks, I don't know, there's something strange about his skin and his complexion. He just looks dead, and I can tell that he's a clone. And the one on the right, that's definitely an imposter. And I don't know when the picture was taken exactly, but it could have been 3 years ago or something. And look how evil and plastic that he looks. But usually after the first or second record they replace a person. But fast forward 3 years to the era when he did Justified. He went solo and all that kind of stuff. And I noticed that doing interviews, whether it was on television or in magazines or whatever, out of the blue, just out of nowhere, and this was after NSYNC had disbanded. And I just noticed out of nowhere that he had this bad, arrogant, smart aleck attitude when the interviewer would ask him certain questions. He would get annoyed, and he would started acting like this jackass, this stuck-up jackass, like he was better than everybody else. And somebody, this radio, I guess it was a radio show or something, and somebody called in. They were playing Justin Timberlake's song, "Like I Love You," and ain't no telling. Just about every call they got, it was like the song sounds, and I think they played "Cry Me a River" too, and that was clearly about Britney Spears cheating on him. We're not stupid, but of course, the real Britney had long since been replaced by that time anyhow. And I believe that's the reason why they broke up, because the imposters are normally, since they were born at a different date, and I had to get into all of that later on, the astrological signs and how people are compatible and stuff like that. After a certain time, it just doesn't work out. So the imposters, them hooking if they're together even, that could be a lie even. But basically everyone was saying that, he sounds like a Michael Jackson wannabe. And, I was not, and I guess that when people asked Justin about, he kind of had a smart aleck attitude. I don't remember what he said exactly, but he basically said like, "So what?" or something. Michael Jackson, I like Michael Jackson and blah blah blah. And I knew something was wrong, but I didn't quite know what it was. But knowing what I know now, it's everything's falling into place. And around that time, and I had to do a separate video on Christina Aguilera. She also, became this bitter, smart alecky, fake looking, big boned, slutty. I'm just saying, excuse this language when I say this, but she became this bitch basically, and I was just hurt. I didn't know what was going on, but now it makes sense. And since my folks are back home, I have to close this down in a little bit. But in this photo, the one to the left, that was Justin Timberlake's first replacement. And that's why they grew his hair out like that, because like the last picture I showed you is basically the same guy that grew his hair out like that, to hide that it was a different person. And the Justin of today, I'm be honest, he looks nothing like, I actually forgot what the real Justin looked like until, I reached back and got these pictures and stuff. And the one today looks nothing like the original one. Why is his hair dark and straight like that? God gave him blonde, curly hair. Not this, poker straight hair and stuff. And you look into his eyes, there's no soul there. And, he looks very evil and sinister. Even his singing voice, back in the day, he always kind of tried to have, a soulful sound to his voice. But today, his singing voice, I wouldn't say that it's better or worse or anything. It's pretty much the same, but maybe just a little deeper. But, he sounds like an R&B singer now. But that was the first replacement during, the second album. I think No Strings Attached era. He's still cute, but, he's, a bit artificial. But, With all that said, I'm going to have to continue this later. God bless, and I'm out. Godspeed.